everyone, this is Senva.
And this is Johannes.
And you're watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And welcome to the top 10 board games of all time. This is part of the top 100 series that has been going for the last 5 weeks. And today is the last video where we're going to talk about the top 10 board games that we have ever played. Dun, dun, dun. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
These are great games. I just looked at my list. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. Because I love these games so much.
Yes.
I love all the games on my top 100. But I love these the most. That's
the way it should be.
Yes, that's like the logical part.
You've done it right.
Yay!
Yay!
Because these are the top of the top. All of the top 100. If you go back and you see the beginning, all of those are amazing games.
Yeah, because we've played quite a lot of games.
Yes, we're nearing...
We own up quite a lot of games.
More than 5. Yes. That is somewhere between 5 and 5,000 games we do own.
Yes, that's not
It's
a
somewhere.
lie.
No, it's somewhere in between there. But these are going to be the top 10 board games of all time. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait. That is why we're just going to start and not talk more about stuff that not had anything to do with the top 100 games of all time.
Well,
Let's go. Please.
just a quick reminder: we don't know each other's lists.
Nope.
So I'm excited to see what is in
I'm
your
so
top
excited.
10 of all time
I
right
just
now.
can't hide it. And please let us know. What do you think about these games? What is your top 10? We want to know
Yes,
it.
we wanna
want
know.
to see those lists.
What are your favorite games?
Favorite games. Because you probably have one, even though you think like I don't have a favorite game.
Maybe you're like in total disalignment with us. That is probably a word. We want to know. Maybe we totally line. Maybe yes.
Let's go.
I don't know
Top
if you don't
10
tell me.
board games of all time.
My number 10 is a new game to the list. And I feel like it's weird to add new games to the top 10, but this is such a good game. It's Federations. Federation,
yes.
And this is a game that really just spoke to me from the first time we played it because...
Hello, Cinema. I'm Federation.
Hi.
Please play me.
Yes, just like that. Because this is a worker placement game, or like you have these poker chips with different values and stuff that you play, and there's so many reasons for you to place where you place it. It's not only the action that you do, it's also like two sides of the board that kind of the majority of the thing happens.
It's a vote.
Yes, it's a vote basically. And then it also, the columns gives you like things on the track, which gives you a specific like thing for go for in the life of the game. It's just so good and I want to play it more.
Because like,
Hello.
you're playing me.
Yes.
I want to be played.
Yes. All the other games also want to be played.
It's like, hello.
Yeah.
My number 10 is going to be a game that was just on your top 20 because I remember stuff. It's also a game that was not on the list before. Never been on the list. And it actually was not on the list in any way last time.
Okay.
It's Age of Innovation.
Cool.
Age of Innovation is the new version of Terra Mystica. I like Terra Mystica, but Terra Mystica was not actually on my top 100. Gaia Project was, and it still is. So I like them enough, both of them, to keep both of them on the list. But Age of Innovation now is my favorite at the moment. It just took everything about Terra Mystica. I love Terra Mystica, but it took everything about it and made it better. It's not as tight, which is going to be interesting to see people who play it hundreds of times and see how they feel the two compared.
Yes.
But it just has the variability. It made this super cool way of making it so you can like do everything. Like you can have this, because in Terra Mystica you have the water is paired with this faction, but here you can like mix and match everything. And it's so smart that they did this with the books. Like the books is this new resource that you kind of then get as a kind of in-between resource that you can focus on and do these super cool things with. Adds to the game a little bit, but most other than that, it's going to be many of the same things. If you haven't seen it already, you can check our comparison video, which talks a bit about the differences and why we like the new things better. But all in all, this one is just like and this is one I played it many times after we reviewed the game, which is a thing I don't often do, even with games I really like. So Age of Innovation is just one of those. If I had the time and somebody were like, "Can we play Age of Innovation?" I would be yes. Super quickly, I would say absolutely, because it's a fantastic game. Love mostly everything about it. My number 10 age of innovation.
Cool. My number 9 is also a new addition to the list, and it's Voidfall. Voidfall is such a hard game to get to the table. Yeah, you're just like mind blown. You have this on your list already.
Yes. But this is so high.
This is so high. I rated it at 10 or
you
something.
You didn't have it on the list already.
But
wow.
It's such a good game. I really love it. I love everything about it. It's just like it makes my brain really happy because you have all these puzzly elements with a cool theme. And like, I think like the cards is the coolest thing about the game, because every round you see like, okay, this time we can play 4 cards, for example, or 6 cards. And then I have to, like, at the beginning of the round, be like, okay, if I do this action on this card, then I can do this on this. But wait, what did the other? No, I've used this card already. Okay, do it again. And then also you want to have the resources and the abilities to do it. And you also want to have it do cool things but not get to corruption, because that stops you to actually score the stuff that you're doing. So cool. And like the production, everything is really cool. The biggest hurdle with this game is that it's a lot of rules.
Yes.
It's a lot of stuff. The setup in itself takes a lot of time.
Yes.
But when it's kind of, as you said with Arkwright, it's a little of an event game. Yeah. So this is a game that I know that we will play very seldom, but when we do, I'm going to have so much fun.
Until somebody attacks you and takes away all your stuff.
Yes, of course. Then I'm going to be pissed.
That is that was a big surprise. Like just not knowing the list is worth it for things like this. My number 9 is going to be a crossover. And it's going to be a game that has never been on my list before. So 2 in a row that's never been on the list, or last time. And this has never been because it didn't exist. It's Federation.
Oh, cool! Bam, bam, that was almost an exact crossover.
There. You have to play me now. I don't know why he's laughing like that, but he's just like that.
Yes.
Yeah, Federation, for all the reasons, like we just spoke about it like very recently. I am a huge fan. And we spoke about this so many times last year, like worker placement games with a twist.
Yeah.
Like you take these things, but adding that the 4 different reasons that you want to play a worker exactly this space just makes the puzzle of that so much more fun. Federation is a game that I know that I will always own. It's a game that it just came out of nowhere. It wasn't last year, it was 2022.
Yeah.
Because you bought it in Spiel when you were there alone.
Yes.
And we played it, and I was blown away. Like, there's many games we play that I'm like, this is good. And then we have games where it's just like blowing me away of being like, this is one of the best things I have ever done in my life. And Federation is that. It has a lot of tracks. It has a lot of these things. If you don't like that, you might not like the game enough. Or as much as I do. But if you like Euro games and you enjoy that intricate puzzle of, okay, I really want that action, but I don't want to place more of my values on that side because then that vote is going to go through and I don't really want that. So maybe I'm going to do that action instead, but I also really want to place there because I want to win that bonus. And all of these things make it elevate so much from just like moving on tracks and getting bonuses and getting points. Thumbs up,
yes.
Federation. Buy me now.
My number 8 has fallen 2 spaces from last time. It was my number 6. You had this in your top 20, and it is Bruxelles 1893. The Belle Epoque is going to be the game. But we played the original when we first played it. As you said, we just fell in love with it from the beginning. This is for me like the ultimate board game. It was my number 6 last time, but the time before that was actually my number 1. It's such a good game and it feels so clever because it has these very familiar mechanisms. It has so many mechanisms in it that you think this is going to be a messy game, but it isn't. They like flow so seamlessly into each other, and just like the package is so good. And the tension when you think like, okay, I need that action space and I need to be like the person who has the most money under my worker to have get the bonus that I really need and the majorities that I need. But at the same time, I want to place my workers in the forbidden area. But then they're sending me to jail because I'm that balance between doing smart things but also getting to do the things that you want to. And the new additions from the Belle Epoch, like the small changes they've done there, super clever as well. So if you haven't checked out this game, it's amazing. Do it.
And right now we have 3 copies in our house.
Buy me.
Yes. Now he's talking more like buy me. It's more original, like it's been alive for longer.
Yes.
Like
Yes, we actually do have 3 copies in our house right now.
One is in the sell pile, and then one original is on the shelf, and then the Belle Epoch is on the shelf. So these are games that we like. My number 8 was my number 20 last time.
Cool.
And this is another one that I have played so many times. I have played it again and again and again, and I think I will love this game this much for a long, long time. Somebody will say it's too similar to another game that was very high on the list, but I don't feel like it is, and it's going to be Clans of Caledonia. Clans of Caledonia is kind of, you could have called it Clans of Caledonia a Terra Mystica game, because it takes like a lot of the things from Terra Mystica with the placement on the board, the placing adjacent to people, but here it works very differently, but it adds things I like, which is a market with demands going up and down. You have these contracts that you try to fulfill, but what I love the absolute most about this game is combos. It's just getting to do action after action after action after action, because it's one of those games where you have X amount of rounds and you have like turns until everybody pauses, and you're trying to just, I haven't more money now, I need to do something to get more money so I can do more things, and trying to make it go and go and go, and getting those rounds where you get to do these amazing turn after turn after turn. It is so much fun, and it's also one game. It's easier to teach, like it's a bit lighter than Terra Mystica.
Yeah.
It's easier to teach because it has this super good player aid where basically you could, if you played with somebody who had played many, many games, you could almost just give them the player aid and start playing. I wouldn't suggest it because there are, of course, nuances and things here and there, but all the actions you can choose from are there, and it's just very great to get into. It's a medium game. I know they're working on an expansion, so that is actually what I'm super excited for, because for first, a reason to play Clans of Caledonia makes me happy, and more clans and stuff also makes me very happy. Cannot wait for that. Clans of Caledonia, 2,000 times up in the air.
Cool. My number 7 has also fallen 2 spaces from last time. It was my number 5 last time, and it is Nations. You had this in your top 20,
20,
right?
yes, correct.
Nations is, as you said, one of our favorite games. It has...
Spoiler alert, in the top 10.
Well, it has been our collection for a long time, so it has been a favorite for a very long time. When you got it, you started to say... I remember you said to me, I'm not sure if you're going to like this game, because this is like a civilization building game. But you said maybe you will like it because this is more Euro-y than the other games, for example, Through the Ages. So you can like start wars and battles and stuff here, but it is not like that mean interaction that you have in other games. The interaction instead is like, for example, in the card drafting, which is really cool because you have these cheap cards and expensive cards, and you every time it's your turn, there's multiple cards that you want, so you think like, okay, which one is more important to you, which one should I just get before you, or should I get the thing that I really want, I can't go without it, but then maybe you will take the other card. And as you said also, the resource management in this game is really tight. You have these workers, you can also buy more, but then you spend resources to do that. So I remember the first times we played, I never took a single extra worker.
Nope.
I just like started with the workers I had, and I did like the whole game with that. And now when I play it now, I think those workers are essential. So it feels so, my gaming has also evolved with this game, which is really nostalgic for me, and I just love it.
And we also have this Cinema strategy, which is not doing any war at all.
Yes.
And then they're starting the war at 0 so that she can't lose it.
Aha!
So my number 7 was my number 9 last time, and it's going to be Vinhos. Vinhos is the winemaking game from Vital Lacerda. It is a game where you only have 9 actions, so it's another one where you try to do the most with the things that you have. I love the new version, and I really love the old version with the bank and the loans and all of that. It's a lot tighter, so I think it's 2016 was like the deluxe edition with the more, not family friendly, but like easier to get into version. But for me, like I love them both, and I could play both of them. Basically what you're doing is that you're running a vineyard. I think that's the name of it.
Yeah.
You are getting different, or you're running multiple vineyards in
Yes,
different
actually.
places on the I think it's
You're
in,
making
is it
wine.
in Lisbon? I think it's in Portugal.
Yes.
It's Portugal.
Yes.
Yes, it's Portugal. I'm very bad at geography. But you have these different vineyards. You try to get different buildings for them, get different workers that work on them, and you're trying to make the best wine so that when you go to a wine competition, you're gonna be the winner wine dinner, which is the new thing you say. I love everything about this game. I think it's so tight. When you teach it the first time, you're gonna be like, by the way, there's only 9 actions, and this little action grid where you move around and you can only move one space, but then you can pay to move more, but you're not gonna have that money, and because if you use that money, you're not gonna have money you need for doing the actual action. And there's, as I said, there's so few actions. You have to choose wisely the order you want to do the actions, and then the other players are doing things you wanted to do, so it makes it harder for you. And then you have this common pool of these cubes that got placed, and then somebody goes, I'm just going to take those cubes that I placed there, and I'm going to be, no, I needed those. So the interaction is great, the gameplay is great, everything about it is great. Windows.
Do you have a favorite between like the two variants? Yeah.
I think I like the one with the bank the most.
Cool.
But the other one is lighter and easier to get to the table.
Then I like the easier one to get to the table.
Yes.
I like Vinhos was in the contender for my top 100 in general, but it's not my favorite Lacerda game. I still think it's really good, but this is a game that it hurts my brain just thinking about it. Like the grid, as you said, like if you do the action that I wanted to do, then I have to pay you money to go there. I don't have that money.
Never.
And that hurts so bad.
So that's
Yay.
mine. Yes.
My number 6.
Yes.
Yes. Is a new game to the list. I think I've been like bitten a little about the Cult of the New this year. But this is such a good game, though. It's Evacuation. Have you had it on your list already? Yes.
Wow.
I really like Evacuation. It's such a unique Euro game because you want to evacuate from the old planet to the new one, and you want to then take away the resources from there and send it to the new one so you can build new stuff on the new planet.
Not old stuff on the new planet.
But this is also an example of a game where you have so many thoughts in your head at the same time because you have so many reasons to do stuff. Because, for example, when you play your action cards, not only have you decide to, depends on which mode you play it with, which is a cool thing in itself. It has cool modes, which I like all of them.
And uncool modes, I don't know,
No,
like it has just modes.
Just cool modes.
Okay, yes, cool.
Not hot. Well,
cool,
yes.
not warm. Ooh.
You have to decide which number on the card that you're playing, like where you place it, and then you want to place with the action. So maybe I really want to do the action that is number 2, but I really want to have the number 4 in my plan somehow because I want to get the bonus, which I need a specific number for. So there's so many reasons to do stuff. And that is why I really adore this game. That's
Evacuation. That was a big surprise. My number 6 was now my number 4. And it's going to be Kanban. Kanban EV. I don't know how you say it. Kanban. Kanban. I'd like it's a Japanese thing. Let us know in the comments because people are very nice at doing that. Good with doing the pronunciation guides for us Norwegian people who don't know how to say words. It's another Lacerda game. 2 in a row. Did I say the number it was last time? It was 4.
Yes.
Now it's 6.
Cool.
It's about making cars. You have I loved the original, but it was a bit heavy for us when we got that.
Yeah.
So when we did play it a bit later, I liked it better. But then when we got the new version, it like just segmented in way into like the top 100 for me. I you have one worker and you are moving it around in this factory. You also have Sandra. You can play with nice Sandra, but don't do that because that's boring. You want to have mean Sandra, who's just like, oh, you didn't do stuff. Here's bad things for you. And she's blocking worker place spaces. And it's this really cool mechanism of time where you place somewhere, and depending on where you place, you are going to move in that order next time, which is a really cool mechanism. And then you also want to build cars. You want to build different cars. You want to build specific things so that when you go to meetings, you can say present different things to Sandra and say like, look what I did in this thing. And then she's going to be like, that's pretty cool. But when you show her, it's going to be like, I've already seen that. I don't like that so much. This is a very thematic one. Like, it's easy to explain in the thematic sense, which is something I don't usually care about, but I really enjoy that it's here. And the new version is so cool. We haven't even played with the expansion, which is like the EV stuff.
Do that.
But because the base game is more than enough, most of the times you play it. It is one more of those games I would like to play more.
Yes.
But I can't because it's so big and we have many games to play. And we have limited time. We don't have unlimited time.
No.
That would be nice.
Sadly.
Just play board games all day, but we can't.
Really nice.
That's that game, which I'm unsure how I pronounce.
My number 5 was my number 9 last time, and it's also Kanban EV. So that's almost an exact crossover.
But it means it's crossover time. Crossover time. We're stuck, unstuck, stuck, unstuck. Together again with the crossover friends. Crossing over friends and games.
I also obviously really like Kanban
But...
EV. As you said, like, the new version is what really opened my eyes to this game, and the planning ahead to like, okay, I need to get the like designs for the cars, and then I need to do this. So you have like these specific things that you have to do, especially before Sandra gets there and punishes you for doing the things in bad. But then when you, for example, when you've done something and you're just like, oh no, next time I have to move first. And then it means that you are blocking that action space already. I can't go there now. That thinking, really, amazing game.
My number 5 was my number 10 last time, and it's Bros Birmingham. And this is my Bros game of choice. We own them both. I played both almost 10 times each. Love them both, but Bros Birmingham is like has the edge for me for being the best of the two. Bros Birmingham is a super interactive game where everything is card based. And some people have been like, oh, but you have wrote so much luck. There's really not. There might be some here and there like, oh, that's perfect. I have this iron card now that iron is almost depleted, so I can build this iron mine, but that's not going to swing the game. You are building industry, and there's two parts of the game. It's the canal part and the train part. So you are building this network of canals and buildings, and then halfway through the game you're gonna destroy all the canals, and you're starting with these few buildings. If you didn't only build the low-level buildings, then everything goes away, and you're trying to have a bit of a network starting from the second round, because that's when the game really starts, and when the competition gets really fierce, because in the beginning it's kind of nice. Everyone can only build one building in each city, and you can build the canals, but then after that it's a free-for-all, and everybody can build wherever they want. So you're trying to have this network already built out, so the cards are easier to work with. It's because you don't need very specific cards when you have like a little bit of network here and there from before. And you're trying to make beer, but you're trying to make beer in a way that only you can use it, because everybody can transport and use your beer. And it's kind of like interactive in many ways, because I need to use your coal. I need to use your iron if that's easier for me, especially the coal if that's easier for me to gather. So I need to get that, and then I can help you flip the building. That gives you more income and scoring at the end of the game. And it's just like, it's one that I haven't played a game of it that isn't super duper good. Bros Birmingham, both of them are fantastic. Love it to bits.
I agree. My number 4 is Bros Birmingham. Oh, we are so close to exact
crossover. It's a crossover. We're crossing our hands and crossing our games The games start crossing into one, becoming the ultimate game of all time. I love it to bits and bros of Birmingham. It's so cool, I love it, and it's gonna be great, and it's gonna be... Oh, sorry, I kind of forgot I was filming a video. Yes, do you have anything to add about Bros Birmingham?
Yes, it was my number 3 last time, so it's almost the same. And what I like everything that you said about it. Well, actually, this is Bros and Bros Birmingham and Bros Lancashire. Every time I play one of the games, I think, oh, this is my favorite. And then I play the other one. I just like, no, this is. So I can't decide. What I really think is clever in this game is the turn order, because it has so much to like. It
means so much.
Yeah, it means so much. But and then you can plan it out. So if you are the last one, then you can say, okay, I want to spend the least money I can, so
because
I can
that's how it works.
Yes, you do 2 actions on your turn. So the turn order depends on who's spent the least money that's going to go first. So if I plan out correctly the order of my actions, I can do 4 actions in a row, and that is really powerful. I love that.
Bros Birmingham, fantastic, getting 2 thumbs and a pointing finger in the air. My number 4 has never been on the list before, but it has kind of been on the list before because it's Frosthaven.
Oh yeah, okay, makes sense.
Frosthaven is Gloomhaven 2.0, so it has been like fluctuating between in the top 5 since Gloomhaven came out. Gloomhaven just is a game, we have played it over 100 times, and Frosthaven now we played maybe 20 or something like that. I don't remember. It's been a while, but it's a game I know we're gonna finish it someday. I don't know when, I don't know why. I do know why, because it's fun. It is like, if you don't know anything about Gloomhaven or Frosthaven, then I will tell you a little bit about it. Welcome to Frosthaven 101. In Frosthaven, you are people working kind of together to go through a story. You're gonna read story passages. You're gonna go into different dungeons, like one under the ground, and you're gonna go through it and kill monsters and do different things. All of this is based on playing cards. You're gonna play different characters, and each of the different characters is gonna play wildly different. Then during the game, you will be able to unlock other characters, and your character will be like, I retire, I don't want to do adventures anymore because I have completed my life goal. And he will be, I will only drink at a tavern now for the rest of my life. And he goes away, and you get a new character. It's going to play very differently, and you're going to be like, I don't know how to play this character, but it's so much fun because you get to play the same game but in very different ways. Then when you get to the end of the story, you're going to win the whole thing. We haven't gotten there yet. There's many different story paths, many different things you can lock and unlock depending on your choices. And then you're going to have many hours of fun. That's Frosthaven 101, back to the normal program. Yes, so I really like Frosthaven. Frosthaven is fantastic for many other reasons that I told you in my very informative talk. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
It was very accurate. The thing that I like a lot about Frosthaven
is having fun.
But like some of the things you've seen before. You've seen like enemies attack you before you. Yeah, I see that all the time. You're moving through the movement and attacking and stuff, but the card playing is the coolest thing, because in addition to being the things that you do, that is also your health kind of stamina.
Yes.
So you want to, every time you run out of cards, you like permanently, for that scenario, lose 1 card. And when you lost all your cards, you're going to be out.
Yes.
And then you have to, every time it's like, when you're planning a turn, everybody sits with their hand and be like, okay, I can use the top part of 1 card and the bottom card of another card. And I also have to decide on the initiative. So every round, you have this like planning, like, okay, which bottom card do I want, which top card do I want, but I want to do this action, but I do want a fast initiative, so I get to do it before the enemy attacks, and it's so good. That also can make the game very long sometimes. Yes. It has so much potential for AP, but it's a very fun game. The reason why I'm talking about it is because it is my number 3.
Yay!
Yay!
Crossover! A very freezy crossover. Ooh, Frosthaven. Ooh. But we are crossing over here. Crossing out of the frame. Doesn't really matter because we're Frosthaven fans.
But the cool thing is, like from Gloomhaven to Frosthaven, is that you have some building with the city and stuff.
Yes, I love that.
And just like that's fine.
It's fun.
Okay, that's not the coolest thing for me. The coolest thing is the new characters, which feels even cooler to play with than the original ones. This game, as for you, has like been in different parts of the top 5 since it came out. No, Gloomhaven, yes, but you get the gist.
And this also since it came out because it's the first time it's on.
That's true.
And you did just ignore my joke of the cool characters.
Oh, the cool, yes.
Yes, it was so fun. I had to talk about it. My number 3 was my number 8 last time, and then it was kind of low because now it's where it's supposed to be. It's the Castles of Burgundy. That was kind of a rhyme. It's supposed to be Castles of Burgundy. Castles of Burgundy is a fantastic game. The new version makes it even more fun because it now looks as beautiful as the gameplay is. This is one that we have played so many times. It's one that we have played in forever. Like it was the first game that got you from playing, and it's nothing wrong about playing Carcassonne and Dominion, but it's what got you climbing that step into more complex games. It's one of those games that we can sit down and play whenever because we know the rules so by heart. We know everything about this game. We have played it probably 30, 40 times, and every time like it's an hour game, perfect game length, 2 players. I don't really want to play it with more than 2 because it's going to be longer, and I don't want it to be long, I want it to be short. And punchy and snappy. And again, you're rolling the dice and you're doing the best you can with them. But again, as with many games in these videos, I love combos. It's all about getting those combos, placing it out there. Then I get to do the action of that building, and that might help me to do another bonus action. And I fill out an area which gives me a super bonus and some points. And there's so many points to get. And it's one of those where you feel like, oh no, you're super much in the lead. And then do this one thing like, oh, I got 600 points now and I'm in the lead. And all of this stuff. We haven't, like, I really like the Vineyard expansion, adding just like, it doesn't need it because the game can be played over and over almost infinitely, which is a new word. But I love it. I love Castles of Burgundy. Yeah. It makes me happy. It makes me so glad that we now have the new version that we can play and look at and have fun with these 3D pieces. And it's so fun to see the Castles of Burgundy out there on the board. I
agree. My number 2.
Two.
Right? Two. It has kept its position from last time. So this has also been in the top of the crop for some time, and it is Lisboa. It's my favorite Vital Lacerda game, and it also was the first one we played.
Yeah.
And I just instantly fell in love with it, and I think that this is a game that you have to, like with all his games, you have to play it more times to really understand it. Because in the beginning of the game, because it's really easy, really, you just play a card and do what it said, do one of the 2 things that it can do. It's so simple, but really, in the beginning of the game, I feel like I spend 10 resources and get 1 back.
Yeah.
It just feels so backwards, and at the end of the game, you're sitting there with loads of money and you can do whatever you want. But then it's maybe too late because now people have built in the city, because this is the cool interaction part between getting like squeeze in the buildings where it will score the most points, and also getting the rubble, because you get points for the rubble. I think the theme in this game is really cool.
Yes.
You're trying to build up Lisboa again after a great catastrophe of 3 different things.
Catastrophes. All the things. A tsunami, a fire, and an earthquake.
But Vital is really cool and making these great, cool Euro games with a really solid theme to them as well.
I also love the following action. Like you can get these things. So sometimes I'm going to be like, oh no, but you can follow me, but you have enough resources. I wanted to do that. Aha, I'm going to do it now. So it doesn't help you and just yes, it's a super duper cool game, which was my number 2 last time and is my number 2 this time. Lisboa, it's a perfect crossover.
It's a perfect crossover.
That means we have to go to Lisboa.
Yay! Actually, we should do that.
Because that was a perfect crossover, we need to go there and play the game.
Yay!
Yay!
Bye!
We're going there, but we're gonna do the number 1. I'm actually not going there. But yeah, crossover time. It's a crossover time. We are crossing your hands and crossing no pants, because pants are not supposed to be crossing. They're supposed to be on your legs. Yes, Lisboa. It was not the first Little Sword game we played. As you said,
it wasn't?
Kanban was the first one we played,
That's
the
true.
original one.
Yes.
But Lisboa, the first time I played it, I fell in love. The second time I played it, my brain was just like, I have spoken to this many times on the channel. Some games makes me go like, this is fun. This is fun. And just like my whole body is just like getting butterflies all the time when I play it. I don't know if all people feel it like that for some games, but some games I play, I'm just like, oh, this is this. This is it. This is the game. This is one of those games where you just like be like, oh, yeah, I love it. And Lisboa was that from the beginning. You spoke about the technical stuff, so I'm going to talk about the feelings. It's just like, it just makes me feel very happy every time I play it. I love board games. Like, board games are a super important part of my life. And it's kind of weird sometimes when I think about it, that cardboard can be so important, but like to be able to experience these things that these designers have worked on and made for us to enjoy is just special. Like, and when something hits hard, it's super special. Like these games, the top 10 games, I'm going out on a limb or a tangent. It's called Tangent, I think. Because these top 10 games, the top 100 games, it's not just like I love these mechanisms, but I just love all of the feelings that these people have given to me. Like Stefan Feld, Uwe Rosenberg, Vitala Serda, Isaac Childress, all of the designers, Alexander Pfister, like all of them, like many, many more. The things that they have made has made me happy.
Yeah.
And it has been important to me. Like it's been a big part of our life. We started this channel back in 2017. And even before that, like from 2012, when I started going into the hobby gaming, it has been a bigger and bigger part of our life and an important part of our life. And it just makes me so happy that these people with these cool ideas and these nice brains manage to make these experiences that just truly resonates with me as a person and just makes me truly happy.
Yeah, I agree. Like our lives look so different.
Yes.
Because of this incredible hobby that we love so much, we get to go places that we wouldn't have gone.
Like
we get
Germany.
Like Essen. What? And also meeting all these cool people that we wouldn't have met without this hobby. It's amazing, and I just love it. And as you said, it's weird because it's just cardboard. But then again, we have the house full of this cardboard. So we love the cardboard.
So I'm going to say one thing before you go into the top 1. This wasn't planned, by the way. Even though we think everything was scripted, this was actually not scripted. I just want to say thank you.
Yes.
Basically to all the designers, to all the people that we meet, to all of you watching. Because if you weren't watching and if you weren't interacting with us and making this more fun, then we wouldn't be doing these videos. And that would make it harder to do the other things that we love to do. And we're so happy to be able to do all of these fun things with board games because you all are watching and because you enjoy what we do. So yeah, that is that. Thank you, basically, to every single person who makes the games, who produces the games, who works on the development, who designs, who make the artwork. All of you, a huge thank you for doing what you do. And now,
I have to say thank you to you too for reading
YouTube, you mean? YouTube.
YouTube. Yes. No, you.
Oh,
because
me.
I wouldn't have played all these board games if you wouldn't have read the rules for me and taught me the game while I were half asleep, and then I could win them afterwards. But yeah, so yeah, I wouldn't be in this hobby without you. Like really. Number one.
It's time for the best game of all time. Number one.
My number one has never been my number one before. It has been in my top 3 and top 10 many times, but this is the first time it's been my like favorite game.
Of all
But
time.
yeah, but it has been one of my favorite games. But this, like, with the new edition, it just like, when I think about what's my favorite game, that okay, now it's my favorite, like, for real, and it's Castles of Burgundy. It's no shocker. Well, yeah, you spoke about it already. I think that before the new edition, we loved it to bits. It's one of the games that, as you said, is always fun to play. We can play it, the two of us, in such a short amount of time. Just set it out, go, we're ready. But now with the new edition, with the new stuff, the expansion, I love that. It makes it even better. It just elevates it for me. And I love having, like, my favorite game in a cool package that it is now. This blinged out version just looks just amazing. The old version is, like, the game in itself is really, really, really good.
Yes.
But it looks
the best,
like, yeah, the best. But it looks like an old Euro game.
Yeah.
Now it looks really nice as well. And looks are not everything, but now I'm just like, I was pondering this for a while, because these top 3 has like gone like that for me, and it's so hard to choose, like, what's my favorite game. People ask us about that quite a lot of times. When I say to my new acquaintances or friends, like, I play a lot of board games, like, oh, what's your favorite game? I'm just like, I don't know.
One of them.
Yeah. You probably might not have heard about it, but this is my favorite game. And I'm just excited for that, because it's like having an old friend and then suddenly become, like, much closer. Board games are my friends. Yeah.
Yay, and not
you.
food.
Yes.
But I didn't want to ruin your moment, but we have to do the crossover dance.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, thank you.
Castles of Burgundy, Castles of Burgundy, hey, 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 Castles of Burgundy, Castles of Burgundy, hey, hey. My number 1 is going to be a shock to nobody. It was my number 1 last time, and I think it's going to be my number 1 for a long time, because it is A Feast for Odin. It is my favorite game. What a shocker. Feast for Odin, again, gives me that feeling that Lisboa gave me. I even played it solo. And I don't play solo games. I tried, but it didn't work out. But I even was like, I just wanted to play it again and again and again. I played it like every day. Every day I had new people over and we had to play a Feast for Odin. And the expansion makes it so much better. Just like takes a near perfect game and makes it into what I would call a perfect game. I love it to bits. It's hard to teach, because you have like, okay, and now we're going to explain these 64 different action spaces. And by the way, you start with negative 81 points or something like that. And it just, I love it. I love the worker placement, trying to make a strategy, trying to do that. But then I also love the puzzle. The puzzle of placing these different pieces, upgrading them, trying to get new islands so that you can then get super cool bonuses, trying to get the most stuff for free so you can have more stuff going on with your workers. It's a very classic Euro game. It's a classic Uwe Rosenberg game, but that, like, the puzzling with the worker placement, with that many options, and especially with the expansion where you have that like super action that you can do, but that's going to be your last action for the round. All of these things together, trying to maximize everything and getting the smallest coins ever made in a board game, makes me so happy. Listen to what I said about Lisboa and you will know how I feel about this game. It makes me happy and I will always love it. Thank you, Uwe Rosenberg, for making my favorite game of all time. And that's the top 100.
That's the top 100.
It's the end for this time. We're going to do more videos. It's not the end for the channel. We're going to have more videos coming soon. We hope you enjoyed joining us on this journey through the top 100 games of all time. Please let us know in the comments what is your top 5, top 1, top 6,000. Maybe not 6,000. I don't think YouTube will allow you to make that long of a comment. But please let us know. We would love to hear it because it's so much fun to hear all of you others persons' top lists.
Yes.
That's going to be the end. This was the longest video in the series, but that makes sense because it was a top 10 and we had so much things to say.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this video and you like what we do and it gave you any good feelings or just anything of value, it would mean the world to us if you wanted to give us a victory point.
And we get victory points when you click that subscribe button. You can also click the bell to get notifications every time we post a new video.
And this is going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Cinema.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye bye.